Urgent news, my loyal patrons. I'm cancelling your subscriptions. Which is to say I'm having to raise the prices of my tiers and move around certain backer rewards in order to account for time, operational costs and expenses and assets for my new studio space, the Wee Red Shed. Assets like what, you ask? Walls on wheels. Our soon-to-be completed audio recording booth. Wait, what? A mysterious box that definitely doesn't produce sandwiches. Our soon-to-be completed editing and streaming station. Soon being whenever we can figure out why the hell Spymaster here isn't turning on. And last, but by no means least, the magic table! You can't tell just now because there's no power to it, but there's a TV in the center of this that we're going to be feeding all kinds of cool fantasy battle maps to. Because my backers were the ones who kept me alive long before I'd announced this place or that I'm intending on starting my first actual play soon, I decided there's only one way to approach this repricing situation fairly. Everyone who has ever backed me on Patreon, from people who have been supporting me consistently, to folk that subscribed for a couple of months and then stopped, to Damien Lane, who literally joined 2 days ago. Hey Damien, you're now on this list. And as long as you're on that list, regardless of how much you choose to pledge to me in future, you're getting treated as a top tier backer. Cool, but what am I getting, I hear my loyal patrons ask. And what are you offering now, I hear potential new patrons ask. Well, in case you're new here, my name's Elias, I'm a big fat socialist, and I make TTRPG content, comedy sketches, and now actual plays. And if you support me in addition to behind the scenes clips and works in progress, perks for our Discord server, and seeing releases early before they're released to other platforms, I want the people who are backing me financially to just absolutely mess up my game world in advance of our first actual plays. Let's break down the tiers. Starting off at the bottom tier, at £5 a month, we have Wanderer. If you pledge this amount, you get perks from my Discord server, the ability to watch stuff early before it's released, 2 days early for short form content, 15 minutes or less, and a month early for longer form content. £10 a month and up is our Adventurer tier. You get all of the previous benefits, plus you get to add an NPC to any new game world that we create. Whether that's Immersion Breakers or the 2 other ones that I've got cooking in the background. Their survival is not guaranteed at the table, but in the event that something untoward does happen, you can absolutely replace the character. At £25 a month is my Hero tier. You get all of the previous perks of the previous tiers, plus the ability to vote in game-affecting polls, and you'll get to see your name on the thank you page at the end of every video. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. Anytime I announce a new actual play project, patrons will not only get to add NPCs and vote in game-relevant polls, they'll get to mess with the game world using a specially crafted list of prompts that I'm calling story perks. And whenever one of these story perks inevitably affects one of our player characters, you will get an on-screen credit. I know what you're thinking, Elias, this is the 50 and up tier, how crazy could these perks possibly be? I've already made a post detailing exactly what story perks players can expect for the Immersion Breakers, why don't you go check that out? Still here? Thought so, you legend. So you're willing to support me to the tune of £50 per calendar month, you get all of the previously mentioned benefits, and you get one of those story perks per month. The Mythic tier at £75 per calendar month, you get all of the previous 3 story perks per month and a special spoken thank you message at the end of every video. And finally, the £100 a month tier, Sandwich. You get all of the previous story perks per month, I'll write your name on the shed booth along with the early backers, I'll make a sandwich, film it, and taste it on my upcoming series Sandwich Craft. Because at that point you've bought me a week's worth of groceries anyway, I may as well make you a sandwich. By the way, I will also do any of these for anyone that makes an equivalent donation over on Ko-Fi. I've already created a spreadsheet to track the backlog I'm going to need to get through the early backers, and I'm currently working on my casting calls for the first Immersion Breakers actual plays, but I'm hoping that you'll support me or at least stick around to see what we get up to. Anyway, time to get to work.